Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today and taking the time to watch my short presentation on the changes you can expect for the Medicare Part D program in 2025. If you don't know me, my name is Casey Oliveira with Access Financial. I've been in the insurance industry since 2005. I've seen a lot of changes over the years, and I just feel like it's important for us to understand the impact of these changes and just take this time to share with you what I think is really going on. So today we're going to talk about the Inflation Reduction Act and the changes that it brings to the Part D program next year and the Medicare prescription payment plan. So August 16th, 2022, the Biden administration passed a new law called the Inflation Reduction Act. And this law brings big changes to Medicare Part D. So this is standalone Medicare prescription drug plans and Medicare Advantage plans that include drug coverage. It allows Medicare to negotiate the cost of drugs for 2026, even though this program starts in 2025. It eliminates the donut hole and it caps seniors' out-of-pocket cost for their drugs to $2,000 a year if you have a Part D plan. It also requires Medicare Part D plans to offer a prescription payment plan option. And it requires manufacturers and Part D drug carriers to cover more of the drug costs. So for the first time ever, the law provides Medicare the ability to directly negotiate the prices of certain high-cost drugs. And they've started this negotiation process for 10 drugs already. You'll see them below in bold. And what blows my mind is they picked these 10 drugs. I'm like, didn't you look to see when they go generic? Look at how many of these drugs are going generic in 2025 or 2026 or even 2027. It's more than half of them. So I'm not sure what they're negotiating there. I've always thought that when a drug goes generic, the cost is significantly reduced. So I'm not quite sure how hard they're working or what they're negotiating, but it doesn't kick in until 2026. So 2025 is going to be a really hard year for the drug plans offering coverage. They're going to have to eat a lot more costs. Let's talk about plan design comparison. How does this year compare to next year? Well, the deductible is going to go up from 545 to up to 590. In 2024, once you've hit your deductible, you go into the initial coverage phase, aka copay phase, and you're paying a copay or a coinsurance for your drugs until the actual cost of your drug hits $5,030. Then you fall into the next phase, which is the coverage gap or the donut hole, and you're paying 25% of the cost of drugs until the actual cost of your drugs hits $8,000 for the year. And then you fall into catastrophic and it goes to zero. Well, next year, the initial coverage phase to me looks a lot like the coverage gap phase. You'll pay a copay or a coinsurance. It's 25% coinsurance for your drugs until you hit $2,000 in total drug costs. And once you hit that, you're in catastrophic and it goes to zero. So it's really funny to me. I feel like they just kind of renamed the phases and they eliminated one, but the initial coverage phase in 2025 sure looks a lot like the coverage gap phase this year. So let's recap a little more. So 2025, $590 deductible. Your plan may offer better benefits. They may still give you copays for generics. So this is the base structure. It can't get worse than this. It can be better depending on what the plans offer. So you pay the first $590 in deductible, and then the initial coverage phase, you're paying 25% coinsurance for your drugs until you hit $2,000 in drug costs. Now, that can be a lot. 25% of the cost of your drug. They have to offer you what's called a Medicare prescription payment plan option. So not only does this law force carriers to eat all cost after $2,000, it also says, hey, you have to give them a way to pay their drug costs out if they can't afford them over the course of the plan year. So that means January through December, if you can't afford your drugs, the pharmacy is supposed to hand you a Medicare payment plan likely to benefit notice. Now, I talked to a pharmacist the other day and he had no idea about this. So I'm not sure how they're educating pharmacists that this is happening, but it's an optional program. You don't have to utilize it. It's designed for people with higher drug costs if you absolutely cannot afford these drug costs at the pharmacy. And then you talk to your Part D plan to see if you qualify. This is not something the agents help with. I assume these carriers are having to hire a whole team to manage payment plans. Once you opt into the program, your Part D drug carrier will cover the cost of the drug at the pharmacy, and then the balance is divided over the remaining months of the year. So this means you will have another monthly bill to pay out the cost of your medication to your drug plan carrier. This impacts a lot of things. This is more liability on the insurance carrier since the negotiated costs do not kick in until 2026. And standalone drug plans are impacted the most. And in my opinion, this could really cripple this side of the industry. It's causing carriers to increase plan premiums. It's causing some carriers to pull out of the market altogether. They're like, look, we're not going to go belly up on this side of things. We're not going to take the risk. We're just not going to participate in Part D drug plans anymore. It's causing some carriers to make plans non-commissionable. We got an email from WellCare yesterday saying, thank you for being such a valued part of our business, but in 2026, we're pulling, or 2025, we're pulling the rug out from under you. Your contract is terminated. We're not going to pay you for any of the business you've put with us. You are no longer allowed to write our plans and make any commission in 2025. And we're not going to give you access to the book of business that you've already put with us. So your servicing capabilities are also terminated. I have personally 157 WellCare clients. This causes ethical issues with agents offering prescription drug plans, or it could cause. We're going to really have to check our minds and our hearts and remember why we're in this industry, and it's to help and to serve, regardless of the commission that we make. So there's a lot of agents wanting to boycott WellCare next year. I mean, why wouldn't we? But we can't. We've got to stay ethical. We've got to do the right thing. So they're making it harder for us to do our job and support our clients. How do we prepare? Well, they say y'all can go to Medicare.gov and review all of this on your own. You will see every single plan option available to you on Medicare.gov. So you're always able to shop for your own coverage there, or you can seek our help. We are really counting on you to give your data to us ahead of time. You can use my Retire Flow link. You can click on or scan that QR code. It's going to take you right to our 10 question short survey. It's going to ask a little bit of information about you, but most importantly, it collects your prescription drug information. Important doctors, if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, we need to know about your doctors as well. So it sends that information to us securely so we can plug it into our system and evaluate what plan would look best for you next year. Now, we're not going to see all of the plans available to you. These plans that they've taken away and made non-commissionable, they don't show up in our quote engine. But we're still going to do our very best to evaluate your plan options and show you coverages available to you that we are able to help you with. And if you want to see plans that we are not able to help you with, we have to direct you to Medicare.gov. So you can schedule evaluations. My wonderful sister Brianne is stepping into the Medicare world, and I'm extremely thankful to have her support. We are both here for you. We are going to give you our honest opinion. We are going to stay ethical through this storm. I made it in 2016 when I worked for free all the time. I'm going to make it again. This in the big picture is a very small portion of our income. Part D has always just been a service that we provide. It's not some huge money making opportunity for us. So it's not hard to keep our minds and our hearts in check surrounding these changes. It frustrates us with some of the red tape that they're putting on us, but all in all, we are here for you, and we're going to give you our honest opinion and an honest evaluation, and we look forward to being your resource. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions.